durian harvested each year be transformed into a global sensation. From rich, creamy fresh pods to a wide range of addictive treats, durian is not just a local delicacy. It is the king of fruits, dominating taste buds across Asia. The journey of durian begins in the lush orchards of Southeast Asia, where massive, spiky fruits hang heavily from branches, absorbing sun and rain to develop their signature sweet, buttery flavor. After harvest, they are swiftly transported to processing centers and modern factories. Here, through a combination of advanced technology and skilled craftsmanship, each durian segment is peeled, frozen, and processed, preserving its bold flavor before reaching millions of enthusiasts around the world. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey into the world of the king of fruits, to uncover what has turned durian into the green gold of agriculture, a fruit that is both controversial and irresistibly intriguing to the world. Americans often describe durian as a horrifying mix of rotten onions, garlic, and dirty socks. Yet in Asia, it still proudly holds the title of the king of fruits, because once you get used to its rich, creamy, and intensely aromatic flavor, it's almost impossible not to get hooked. In the United States, there has still never been any fruit that sparks as much controversy as durian. Thailand is currently the most dynamic durian market on the planet, holding over 90% of global export share. Meanwhile, exports from Vietnam and Malaysia are also surging, driven by the popularity of premium varieties like RE6 and Musang King. This multi-billion-dollar flow is largely directed toward China, which imports more than 1.4 million tons of durian annually, worth nearly $7 billion. Here, durian is transformed into everything from hot pot and rich savory sauces paired with meat to the filling of steaming baked pastries. But what's surprising is that behind its powerful aroma, often mistaken for a gas leak, durian is actually a nutritional powerhouse worthy of its title as the king of fruits. Packed with potassium and fiber, it supports heart health much like bananas and aids digestion as effectively as oats. So for $10, would you dare to try a tray of this unusual delicacy? Trust me, it might just surprise you. Growing durian is not just about planting a seed in the ground. It's a long-term investment where every decision can shape outcomes for decades. When grown from seed, the journey begins in the most natural way. A fresh durian seed can sprout in about a week. The tree grows strong, develops deep roots, and can live for over 50 years. But the trade-off is time. It takes 7 to 10 years to bear fruit, and each tree produces different quality, like a mystery box that farmers can't fully predict. In contrast, grafting is like taking a strategic shortcut. Farmers take branches from premium varieties like RE6 or Musang King and graft them onto strong rootstocks. The result? Trees can bear fruit in just 3 to 5 years, with consistent quality, uniform harvests, and significantly higher economic value. That's why over 80% of commercial durian farms today rely on this method. On one side is patience that stretches nearly a decade. On the other is technique that cuts that time in half. And that choice ultimately determines whether a grower is simply planting a tree or building a future green gold asset. In Malaysia, the world's second largest exporter of durian, rubber and oil palm plantations are increasingly being replaced by durian orchards with far higher economic value. But behind this boom lies a unique biological constraint. Durian flowers cannot self-pollinate. The solution comes from unlikely night workers, fruit bats. As the flowers bloom at night, bats feed on their nectar, carrying pollen on their bodies and transferring it between trees, creating a highly efficient cross-pollination system. By midnight, only pollinated flowers remain on the branches to develop into fruit. This quiet partnership plays a crucial role in global durian production. And without bats, this billion-dollar industry might never have reached its current scale. Now, let's step into the harvest season of durian. Depending on the variety and climate, durian typically bears fruit once a year, from May to August in Southeast Asia, when hot and dry conditions reach their peak. As the tree matures, the shell changes color and releases a strong sulfur-like aroma, a clear signal that the harvest season has officially begun. However, this is also a demanding challenge in both technique and safety. A 2 to 5 kilograms fruit falling from a height of 20 meters can completely destroy its commercial value in a single impact. To reduce this risk, farmers must tie protective ropes to each fruit while it is still young. Every fruit is secured to the branch with strong natural fiber ropes, forming a safety net that keeps it in place even after it naturally detaches from the stem. What's remarkable is that this system is not only for protection, but also for harvesting. When the season arrives, farmers use these same ropes like a pulley mechanism to carefully lower each fruit, instead of climbing dangerously tall trees. At the same time, in many small-scale orchards, a more traditional method is still widely used. Workers climb trees up to 25 meters tall, use a sharp knife to cleanly cut the stem and let the fruit drop. Below, another person stands ready with a jute sack to catch it, must never touch the ground. A single impact can reduce its commercial value by 30 to 50%. The key lies in the skill of tapping the durian, an expertise that takes 3 to 5 years to master. Before cutting, the worker gently taps the shell and listens closely. A dull, deep thud signals ripeness, while a higher, hollow sound means the fruit is still unripe. Being off by just 1 to 2 days can significantly affect quality. That's why this job can earn around $20–40 per day during peak season, a relatively high income in these regions. But in return, workers must operate at great heights, facing constant danger and risk. A job where a single tap, a single cut, can determine the value of an entire harvest. From here, a 2-person team can harvest hundreds of fruits per hour, amounting to hundreds of kilograms of durian, carefully loaded onto trucks for transport to wholesale markets or processing facilities. Notably, every fruit must be placed upright with the stem facing upward. This seemingly simple technique is actually a clever way to protect the fruit during transport. Keeping them upright stabilizes their position and prevents tipping, avoiding the risk of one fruit's spikes puncturing another. After harvesting, durian is quickly transported to nearby collection points for initial sorting based on size, ripeness, and variety. Here, selected fruits are carefully loaded onto large trucks. From these collection points, durian is continuously transported to wholesale markets or processing factories within just a few hours, ensuring its freshness and distinctive flavor are preserved. Before entering modern processing lines, take a moment to visit a bustling market where the art of opening durian is performed with precision using just a single knife. The vendor inserts the blade into the base and gives a slight twist, causing the natural seams to split open as if unlocking at the exact point. The knife then glides along the ridges, opening the shell quickly without damaging the flesh inside. In just a few decisive movements, the rich, creamy pods are revealed, dry, firm, and almost separating from the seed on their own, a clear sign of perfect ripeness. The best segments are kept intact and neatly arranged into trays for immediate sale or packaging. At large markets like Ortorkor Market, a skilled vendor can handle over 300 fruits a day. For them, each cut is more than just technique. It's a blend of experience, instinct, and speed, turning a spiky fruit into perfect servings in mere seconds. Instead of heading to traditional market stalls, premium durian is transported directly to modern facilities, where it undergoes strict inspection and processing for export, with prices reaching up to $150 per fruit, several times higher than farm gate prices. As soon as they arrive at the facility, each batch of durian is handled by experienced workers for initial sorting, where size, ripeness, and shell structure are assessed by hand. Only fruits reaching 80 to 85% ripeness, the optimal range to ensure stable texture and peak flavor after transport, are allowed to proceed further down the line. Next, the selected durians enter an automated washing system, where 3 to 5 tons are cleaned every hour. High-pressure water jets combined with rotating brushes penetrate deep between the spikes, thoroughly removing dirt and impurities from the rough outer shell. After completing the drying process and passing biochemical tests, each durian is labeled with a unique identification tag to establish a global traceability system. To minimize damage during handling and transport, every fruit is placed in sturdy carton compartments designed to absorb impact, preventing bruising or broken spikes. The entire shipment is then sealed and assigned an export batch code before distribution. Alongside whole fruit production, batches of durian designated for processing are sent to the peeling section. Here, technicians carefully extract the valuable flesh from the spiky shell by making precise cuts along the fruit's natural seams. As the first cuts slide into the grooves, the tough outer shell reveals little at first. But once the blade reaches the thick white pith, about 2 to 3 centimeters deep, nearly tasteless yet essential for holding the segments in place, the durian pods begin to emerge clearly along the cut lines. Despite this dense compartmental structure, durian's characteristic sulfur compounds easily diffuse through microscopic gaps. This property is so potent that even an intact fruit can release its aroma across dozens of meters in a short time. To ensure consistency across industrial batches, extracted durian flesh is sent directly to the lab for quality control. Technicians measure the Brix level to determine sweetness and test the pH to assess freshness and product stability. Only batches that meet strict standards, typically around pH 6 and a Brix level of 20 to 25%, are allowed to proceed to further processing. From here, the process splits into separate production lines depending on the final product. A large portion of premium durian is directed into rapid freezing, a technological breakthrough that allows global export while preserving its fresh taste. The durian pods are carefully arranged on trays and sent into freezing chambers at extremely low temperatures, typically between -35 degrees and -40 degrees Celsius. Within about an hour, high-speed cold air rapidly locks in freshness, flavor, and texture. In this hibernated state, the fruit's cellular structure is preserved, allowing durian to be transported worldwide while maintaining its soft, creamy texture and rich taste, almost as if it were freshly thawed. For premium ready-to-eat products, durian flesh undergoes freeze-drying in a vacuum environment. But why must water be removed at sub-zero temperatures instead of using heat? The answer lies in sublimation, a unique physical process that occurs under low pressure. Unlike conventional drying, where water evaporates through the liquid phase and can cause cell shrinkage, color darkening, and loss of aroma, freeze-drying removes moisture directly from solid ice to vapor, preserving the original structure almost entirely. As a result, over 95% of the moisture is removed, yet the shape, color, and flavor compounds remain nearly intact. The final product is light, crispy, and airy, but once it melts in your mouth, it delivers a taste and texture remarkably close to fresh durian. At the final stage, all durian products are transferred into sterile clean rooms and packaged in multi-layer aluminum foil bags. Vacuum sealing combined with nitrogen flushing removes oxygen entirely, preventing oxidation and extending shelf life up to 12 months. without the need for any chemical preservatives. Interestingly, there's a little-known fact about how durian captivates the human brain. Scientists in Germany have found that durian contains over 50 different aroma compounds. Yet when combined, they create a scent profile similar to roasted onions and intensely strong cheese. That's why many first-time tasters find it overwhelming. But once the initial sensory barrier is crossed, the brain quickly responds to its high levels of natural fats and sugars, making it surprisingly addictive. Before we get into the juicy details of how American farmers harvest a whopping 371,000 tons of cherries, let's take a moment to appreciate the stars of this story: cherry trees. These trees are nature's multitaskers, known for their beauty, charm, and of course, their delicious fruit. They transform from ordinary trees to showstoppers every spring when their blossoms burst forth in delicate shades of pink and white. These blooms are not just a feast for the eyes. They're the tree's way of saying, get ready for some fruit. Cherry blossoms don't last long, which only adds to their allure. People flock to parks and orchards to witness this fleeting spectacle, making cherry blossom festivals a beloved springtime tradition. The flowers eventually give way to the main event, the cherries themselves. Cherries come in two main types, sweet and sour. Sweet cherries, like Bing and Rainier, are the ones you snack on by the handful, their juices staining your fingers as you savor their sugary goodness. Sour cherries, such as Montmorency, might make you pucker up if eaten raw, but they shine in pies, jams, and other baked delights. These fruits are tiny but mighty, with their vibrant colors and tangy sweet flavors packing a punch in every bite. Let's talk numbers. 371,000 tons of cherries. That's a mountain of fruit, enough to fill stadiums or stack up miles of pies. But how do American farmers achieve such an incredible feat? It all starts in the cherry orchards, where hard work meets modern technology in a race against time. In the world of cherry farming, timing is critical. Cherries are not the type to wait around. They have a very short window of ripeness. Farmers must act quickly to harvest them at their peak, ensuring they're firm, juicy, and bursting with flavor. Too early, and the cherries are underwhelmingly tart. Too late, and they risk becoming soft, overripe, and prone to damage. Farmers often rely on a combination of visual cues and technology to determine the perfect harvest time. They look for the right color: deep red for most sweet cherries, a golden hue with a blush of red for Rainier. Additionally, they measure the fruit's sugar content using a refractometer, ensuring each cherry is sweet enough to pass the test. Once the cherries are ready, it's time to harvest. And this is where things get exciting. Harvesting cherries is a team effort, involving both human hands and mechanical marvels. Hand harvesting cherries is a meticulous and labor-intensive process, reserved for the most delicate varieties like Rainier. Skilled workers carefully pluck each cherry from the tree, ensuring the fruit and its stems remain intact. This gentle approach helps prevent bruising, preserving the cherries' pristine appearance and taste. Workers often start early in the morning, taking advantage of the cooler temperatures to maintain fruit freshness. While slower than mechanical methods, hand harvesting ensures only the ripest cherries are picked, delivering top-quality fruit that's ready to dazzle in markets and on dining tables. For many cherry varieties, farmers use mechanical shakers. These machines clamp onto the trunks of cherry trees and give them a good shake, causing the ripe fruit to rain down into large nets spread below. It's an efficient method, allowing farmers to harvest large quantities in a short amount of time. Watching it in action is like witnessing a cherry storm, a blur of red fruit and green leaves. One of the major advantages of mechanical harvesting is its speed. A single shaker can cover several acres in a day, vastly outpacing the speed of hand-picking. This efficiency is especially critical during the cherry season's short harvest window, when timing is everything. However, machine harvesting isn't without its challenges. Not all cherry varieties are suitable for this method, as softer fruits can bruise more easily. Additionally, the initial investment in equipment and training is significant. But for many large-scale operations, the benefits, higher yields, reduced labor costs, and quicker turnaround times, make it an invaluable tool in modern cherry farming. By combining precision engineering with agricultural expertise, machine harvesting ensures that American farmers can meet growing demand while maintaining high standards for quality and efficiency. The use of mechanical shakers for cherry harvesting is becoming increasingly popular on American farms. These machines have revolutionized the industry by offering a faster, more efficient way to collect cherries compared to traditional hand-picking methods. Designed to gently shake the tree trunks or large branches, mechanical shakers cause ripe cherries to fall into specially designed nets or catch frames. This method significantly reduces labor costs and allows farmers to harvest large areas quickly, which is crucial given the short ripening window of cherries. As technology improves, these machines are becoming more precise, minimizing damage to both the fruit and the trees. While not all cherry varieties are suited for mechanical harvesting, delicate types like Rainier often still require hand-picking. The adoption of shakers is a game-changer for sturdier varieties. In an era where efficiency and scalability are vital, mechanical shakers help American farmers stay competitive in the global cherry market, ensuring consumers continue to enjoy high-quality cherries at peak freshness. Once harvested, cherries don't waste any time getting to the next step. They're immediately cooled to preserve their freshness and flavor. Cooling is essential because cherries are highly perishable. Without it, their quality would decline rapidly. The cherries are placed in cold water baths or hydro-cooling systems to bring their temperature down quickly. This process not only extends their shelf life, but also helps maintain that satisfying crunch when you bite into one. It's like sending cherries to a spa day after their hard work on the tree. Now that the cherries are cooled and ready, they embark on the next leg of their journey, factory processing. This is where cherries are transformed into the various products that fill our grocery stores and pantries. The first step in the factory is sorting and grading. Cherries arrive in massive bins and are loaded onto conveyor belts, where they pass through a series of inspections. Advanced technology, including optical scanners and laser systems, helps sort cherries by size, color, and quality. The best-looking cherries, the ones that meet the highest standards, are designated for fresh markets. These are the cherries you find in the produce aisle, plump and perfect. Cherries with minor blemishes or imperfections are not wasted though. They're set aside for processing into other products like jams, juices, and dried fruit. Next comes the pitting process, which is both fascinating and a little sad for the cherries. Special machines remove the pits with remarkable precision, leaving the fruit intact. Watching these machines in action is mesmerizing. They're fast, efficient, and somehow manage to pit thousands of cherries per minute without squishing them. For products like canned cherries and cherry pie fillings, pitting is a crucial step. No one wants to bite into a cherry pie and find a surprise pit waiting for them. Cherries are more than just a tasty treat. They're a significant player in the U.S. economy. The cherry industry generates millions of dollars annually, supporting farmers, workers, and businesses across the country. From the orchards of Washington and Oregon to the processing plants and distribution networks, cherries provide jobs and contribute to local economies. In American culture, cherries hold a special place. Think of the iconic cherry pie, a symbol of home-cooked comfort and a staple at holiday gatherings. Cherries also feature prominently in classic songs like "Life is Just a Bowl of Cherries," reminding us to enjoy life's simple pleasures. The journey of a cherry, from blossom to your table, is a remarkable one. So next time you bite into a cherry, whether fresh, in a pie, or atop a sundae, take a moment to appreciate the hard work and dedication that went into growing and harvesting that little gem. After all, life's just a bowl of cherries, so let's savor every bite. Hope you'll enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when our exciting videos go live. Goodbye. Consider a vast, white sea spanning nearly 370 square kilometers, over 30,000 hectares of plastic-covered greenhouses in southern Spain, often described as the only man-made structure on Earth visible to the naked eye from space. In Almeria, the most arid semi-desert region in Spain, annual rainfall averages less than 200 millimeters, lower than in many parts of North Africa. Yet this extreme dryness has become a strategic advantage. The highest number of sunshine hours in Europe, low humidity, and consistently clear skies create ideal conditions for operating greenhouses with minimal need for heating energy. While global temperatures continue to rise, surface temperatures in Almeria have, in some cases, shown a slight decline of around 0.3 degrees Celsius per decade. This phenomenon creates a stable microclimate for crops in the middle of a semi-desert, enabling year-round cultivation even under intense heat. Thanks to this optimized ecosystem, Almeria alone produces more than 3 million tons of fruits and vegetables annually. Tomato output reaches approximately 1 million tons, with average yields exceeding 500 tons per hectare, dozens of times higher than open field farming. Meanwhile, bell pepper production stands at around 700,000 tons per year, positioning Spain as one of the leading suppliers of fresh produce in the European market. Instead of relying on chemical pesticides, the system is largely based on biological control. Over 60 to 70% of greenhouse areas in Almeria use beneficial insects such as Aureus bugs and Encarsia parasitoid wasps to eliminate pests. As a result, pesticide residues are kept at extremely low levels, meeting stringent standards set by the FDA and major European retail chains. In addition, the secret behind this extraordinary productivity lies in a unique artificial soil system known as enharinado, a layered structure with clay at the bottom to retain water, organic matter in the middle, and a top layer of fine sand. This design helps conserve moisture, reduce evaporation, and distribute heat evenly to the roots. Combined with drip irrigation and soil moisture sensors, farms in this region can reduce water consumption by up to 80 to 90% compared to traditional agriculture. a critical factor in sustaining a billion-dollar agricultural system in the heart of a semi-desert. Few people realize that much of the olive oil labeled "Made in Italy" on global supermarket shelves actually originates from Spain, a country that accounts for over 45% of global production. With approximately 1.5 million tons annually, largely concentrated in Andalusia, home to around 340 million olive trees, the largest in the world. Starting in late October, olive groves enter a massive, highly mechanized harvesting season. In traditional olive orchards, where trees have thick trunks and wide canopies, the most common method is the trunk shaker. A hydraulic clamp attaches to the tree trunk and generates intense vibrations for several seconds, causing thousands of olives to fall simultaneously. To ensure no fruit is left behind, workers use mechanical pulls in coordination to reach and clear the remaining olives on higher branches. On larger-scale farms, this technology is further enhanced with semicircular catch-frame systems that automatically expand to enclose the base of the tree, covering a diameter of up to 8 meters. When the shaker operates, all falling olives are collected directly into the frame, then conveyed via belts into storage bins attached to the tractor. This closed-loop process can achieve harvesting rates of up to 20 tons per hour, completely eliminating the need for manual ground collection and effectively transforming entire orchards into highly efficient, automated production lines. However, that level of productivity is still not the upper limit. In large-scale olive estates spanning thousands of hectares, where trees are pruned and planted in perfectly aligned rows like vineyards, Spain deploys a massive mechanical system, the high-clearance straddle harvester. This machine features a central processing chamber up to 4 meters tall, allowing it to fully enclose entire rows of mature olive trees aged 7 to 10 years. Within the system, high-frequency vibrating rods act directly on individual branches to detach the fruit, while dual-side conveyor belts immediately collect and transport the olives into onboard storage without allowing a single fruit to fall to the ground. Unlike trunk shakers, this system eliminates all manual intervention, transforming vast olive fields into continuous, uninterrupted production lines. With the capacity to process 20 to 30 hectares per day and harvest up to 60 tons of olives, this technology not only minimizes labor costs, but also ensures optimal fruit quality, as olives can be delivered directly to oil mills within the same day. Unlike traditional artisanal mills in Italy, modern olive processing facilities in Spain operate under an integrated industrial model, capable of handling up to 1,000 tons per day and running 24/7 during the harvest season. The process begins with cleaning and removing impurities, after which olives are crushed into a paste, slowly mixed in sealed tanks to allow oil droplets to coalesce, and then separated using industrial centrifugation. This entire process is completed within 4 to 8 hours after harvest to preserve polyphenol content, resulting in extra virgin olive oil with low acidity, distinctive flavor, and strong natural shelf life. Thanks to its stable quality, premium extra virgin olive oil can reach prices of 25 to 30 USD per liter on the global market, many times higher than other vegetable oils. However, a significant portion of this production is not sold under Spanish branding. Instead, large volumes are exported to Italy, where they are blended, bottled, and re-exported under Made in Italy labels, capturing higher commercial value. If olive oil is considered the liquid gold of the Mediterranean, then in the Dehesa grasslands of southwestern Spain, more than 4 million Iberian black pigs form the foundation of jamón ibérico, one of the most expensive cured meats in the world. The origin of this distinctive flavor does not come from intensive enclosed farming systems like those in Iowa, but from the Dehesa ecosystem, a unique agroforestry landscape spanning millions of hectares across Spain. Here, sparse oak woodlands, shaped over centuries through a combination of grazing and forest management, create an ideal environment for free-range Iberian pigs raised at extremely low densities. Each animal has at least 2 hectares of land to forage and roam. Continuous movement across hilly terrain leads to slow but firm muscle development, while allowing fat to infiltrate deep into the muscle fibers, similar to the marbling found in Japanese Wagyu beef. The most critical phase occurs during the Montanera season, which lasts from October to March. During this period, a mature pig can consume up to 10 kilograms of acorns per day while traveling dozens of kilometers through the forest. Because acorns are rich in oleic acid, a beneficial fat also found in olive oil, the fat of Iberian pigs becomes exceptionally soft, with a low melting point even at room temperature, and develops a rich, nutty flavor reminiscent of chestnuts and dried herbs. However, raw material is only the beginning of a process that can take several years. After passing strict selection, the pork legs are buried in natural sea salt to remove excess moisture before entering the most critical stage, curing in naturally ventilated cellars for 36 to 48 months. Here, seasonal temperature variations of the Spanish highlands act as a biological catalyst, triggering complex enzymatic reactions that transform proteins and soft fat layers into hundreds of delicate flavor compounds. To ensure quality and traceability, Spain applies one of the strictest classification systems in the world through color-coded labels. The black label, known as Pata Negra, represents the highest grade, reserved exclusively for 100% purebred Iberian pigs that are fully free-range and fed only acorns during the Montanera season. The red label is assigned to crossbred Iberian pigs raised under the same acorn-based diet. Meanwhile, green and white labels are used for pigs fed on grain in modern farming systems. In the United States, a single black label Jamón Ibérico de Bellota can sell for between $4,000 and $4,500. However, its value lies not only in the curing time but also in the precision of its presentation. Master ham carvers, known as cortadores, use long, blade-like knives to slice the meat into nearly translucent pieces. Each slice achieves a perfect balance between deep red lean meat and fine streaks of white fat, designed to melt instantly on contact and release the full, distinctive, acorn-rich flavor. Leaving behind the oak forests of Iberian pigs, we move to the arid plateaus of Castilla-La Mancha and Castilla y León. Here, Spain maintains a massive sheep population of over 15 million, nearly 3 times that of the United States, and integrates them into the operation of some of Europe's largest renewable energy systems. The key distinction of Spain's sheep farming lies in its adoption of agrivoltaics, a symbiotic model combining agriculture and renewable energy. In semi-arid regions like Extremadura, where summer temperatures often exceed 40 degrees Celsius, instead of leaving the land beneath solar panels unused, sheep are allowed to graze directly under elevated solar arrays. This system creates a highly efficient economic loop. While solar panels provide shade that reduces ground temperatures by 3 to 5 degrees Celsius and helps retain soil moisture, allowing grass to grow even during extreme heat, the sheep, in turn, act as biological lawnmowers. They naturally clear vegetation around the solar structures, reducing fire risks and saving millions of euros annually in mechanical maintenance costs. Beyond optimizing land use, management processes are fully digitized. Through electronic identification systems, each sheep has an individual profile that tracks everything from nutrition to milk and meat productivity. Vaccination and health monitoring are automated on scheduled programs. Notably, the milking process operates on modern rotary systems, where automated units read electronic chips to adjust milking frequency for each animal individually, ensuring maximum hygiene and preserving the freshness and quality of nutrients. With over €2 billion in annual exports, This model not only helps Spain maintain its leading position in global sheep meat and cheese production, but also represents a new approach, transforming some of the harshest landscapes into a decisive competitive advantage in an era of water scarcity and climate change. From a small basement in the town of Hershey, Pennsylvania, Harry Burnett Reese, a former farmer with nothing but a bold dream, created the Penny Cup, a chocolate and peanut butter candy that cost just 1 cent. That tiny treat quickly won over America and went global after a historic merger with Hershey in 1963. Today, inside Hershey's modern factories, Reese's shares the floor with other iconic creations like the Hershey Bar and Hershey's Kisses. But its place is irreplaceable. Over 4 million Reese's are produced every single day, generating more than $3 billion in annual revenue. Compared to the intense sweetness of Snickers or the crispy snap of Kit Kat, Reese's wins hearts with its smooth and unique texture. Soft chocolate melting into rich, perfectly balanced peanut butter, touched with just a hint of salt. It's a combination that fuels millions of cravings every single day. Now, join me as we step inside Hershey's massive factory, where that magic happens every minute, every second. First, let's start with the legendary peanut butter filling, the heart that made Reese's an icon in the world of candy. The main ingredient is high-quality runner peanuts sourced from the southeastern states of the U.S., marking the beginning of their journey from humble nut to signature peanut butter. In the first step, the peanuts are fed into a high-speed vibrating sieve system, operating at 300 to 500 vibrations per minute. This continuous shaking action effectively removes dust, shell fragments, and impurities with near-perfect precision, leaving behind clean, pristine peanuts, ready to enter their next phase of transformation. Immediately after, the peanuts are transported via an automated conveyor to a shelling machine. Using steady air pressure between 5 to 8 bar, the outer shells are gently removed. A high-powered suction system then whisks away the loosened shells, leaving behind intact, perfectly round peanut kernels. After being cleaned and shelled, the peanuts move on to a state-of-the-art optical sorting machine. Equipped with high-speed sensors and cameras, this system scans up to 5,000 peanuts per minute, detecting and precisely removing cracked, damaged, or substandard nuts using air jets accurate to the millisecond, leaving only the most flawless kernels. But the inspection doesn't stop there. Right after the automated filtering, a team of skilled workers manually checks the peanuts by eye. With sharp attention and swift hands, they sift through each kernel, removing any that are flat, broken, or below standard. The selected peanuts are placed into a rotating drum equipped with high-pressure spray nozzles, where powerful water jets remove dust, soil, and any remaining impurities. Once the peanuts are fully cleaned, they begin a remarkable transformation inside massive industrial roasters, the golden key to unlocking the signature flavor that only Reese's can deliver. The temperature is carefully maintained between 160 and 177 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes, just enough to thoroughly dry the nuts, create a light, crisp outer layer, and release their natural, rich aroma. After being perfectly roasted, the peanuts are quickly cooled and transferred to an air blast system that removes the thin, papery skins. This process reveals the golden kernels beneath, while also eliminating the bitter-tasting peanut hearts, ensuring that only evenly roasted, unburnt, and flavorful peanuts move forward in the process. Once perfectly roasted and stripped of their skins and bitter cores, the peanuts are fed into a two-stage grinding system, where the signature smooth texture of Reese's filling begins to take shape. In the first stage, the peanuts are ground into a thick, coarse paste. But the real magic happens next. This mixture passes through a high-tech ultrafine grinder, producing a silky, velvety peanut butter with a rich, dense consistency, free of grit, oil separation, or dryness. Alongside the peanut butter filling process, the outer chocolate layer, that rich, glossy brown coat, is prepared with just as much precision. The journey of Reese's chocolate begins with premium cacao beans, carefully sourced from renowned growing regions like Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, and parts of South America. After being thoroughly cleaned, the cacao beans are sent into industrial roasters, where temperature and timing are strictly controlled to unlock their signature aroma. Each batch follows a custom roasting profile, depending on its origin and moisture content, to bring out the fullest range of natural flavors, from subtle woody notes and smokiness to delicate hints of berries. Once they reach the ideal roast level, the beans are quickly cooled to preserve their aroma, then cracked open to extract the inner cores, known as nibs. These are the most essential part of the bean, containing both cocoa solids and natural cocoa butter. The nibs are then ground in high-powered machines to produce chocolate liquor, a thick, flowing mixture that contains no alcohol but is rich in pure cacao flavor. This essence forms the foundation of Reese's signature chocolate, smooth, mellow, and crafted to pair perfectly with its iconic peanut butter filling. Next, the chocolate liquor is transferred into a sealed mixing tank, where it's blended with cocoa butter, sugar, milk powder, and lecithin, according to Reese's proprietary formula. This process takes place under tightly controlled conditions to create a smooth, consistent chocolate mixture. Unlike traditional dark chocolate, which can be intense, or milk chocolate, which is often overly sweet, Reese's chocolate is crafted to be gently sweet, smoothly textured, and moderately rich, just enough to enhance the peanut butter without overpowering it. This delicate balance is what gives Reese's its unmistakable character. Next comes the conching stage, a critical step in chocolate production, where the mixture is continuously mixed and aerated for several hours at temperatures between 130 and 180 degrees Fahrenheit, 54 to 82 degrees Celsius. This process further refines the cocoa and sugar particles, creating a smooth, uniform texture while also removing volatile compounds like acids and unwanted bitter notes. The result? Reese's chocolate becomes silky and velvety, melting gently on the tongue without harshness or astringency, delivering a perfectly smooth tasting experience. This is the soft secret behind the quality of Reese's chocolate, and it's also why premium chocolates are typically conched longer to achieve that luxurious texture and lingering finish. Finally comes tempering, the process of stabilizing cocoa butter crystals through controlled heating and cooling. The liquid chocolate is first heated to around 45 to 49 degrees Celsius to break down unstable crystals, then cooled to about 27 to 29. Without this step, the chocolate is prone to blooming, a whitish haze, becoming too soft or snapping unevenly when bitten. Thanks to advanced tempering systems, Reese's chocolate achieves a glossy finish, a light, satisfying snap when bitten, and the perfect melt-on-the-tongue texture. Once tempered to perfection, the chocolate is held at a stable melted state, ready for molding and pairing with its iconic peanut butter center, creating the sweet symbol that's conquered candy lovers worldwide. Once the peanut butter filling and outer chocolate are ready, they're brought to the most crucial part of the entire production line, the molding station, where each Reese's cup officially takes shape. First, the iconic paper cups, an unmistakable signature of Reese's, are neatly placed into metal trays. These aren't just wrappers, they act as molds, shaping every candy to perfection. Next, a layer of melted chocolate is dispensed into the bottom of each cup. The automated pouring system ensures every cup gets the exact amount of chocolate, with a smooth, even surface free of air bubbles. Immediately after, the warm, velvety peanut butter filling is precisely injected into the center. This is the heart of Reese's, and every drop must be perfectly centered to create a balanced bite. A second layer of chocolate is then poured on top, forming the lid of the cup. The molds are gently vibrated to eliminate any remaining air pockets, ensuring flawless adhesion between the layers with no cracks or separation once cooled. Finally, the trays move into a rapid cooling chamber, where the temperature is perfectly calibrated to solidify the chocolate within minutes. After leaving the cooling chamber, each Reese's cup is fully formed, with a glossy chocolate shell perfectly encasing the rich, creamy peanut butter filling inside. Next comes the final, yet equally vital stage, packaging, where each candy transforms from a factory product into a sweet icon, ready to hit the shelves. From there, countless Reese's cups are loaded onto refrigerated trucks and sent across distribution routes nationwide, reaching consumers through supermarkets, convenience stores, movie theaters, and even school lunchboxes enjoyed by millions of students.